who really devoted their life, literally, I'm not kidding when I say this, they devoted their life tonight, to put together this film. So we are going to be doing some in-depth questions right now. Just really taking that extra mile to really learn a little bit more about this project, the whys and the who's and whatnot. So we're going to be talking to them. It's going to be a 30-minute little panel. Hopefully we have a good little time, and then afterwards, come together and celebrate. Sounds like a plan? Yeah? All right, let me hear it one more time. Put those hands together for our panelists. All right. Everybody has a refreshment ready? You guys good? Yeah? All right. Good. Let me just get set up real quick. Did my notes right for this with the little red book? All right. Let's see here. Cool.
2 mics.
Cool. 2 mics. Double the fun, double the better, double the better. Wired is always safer. That's something I learned in the 4 years that I've been a reporter on television. All right, y'all. Here we go. Get it together, Chris. Cool. Are we ready? All right. Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Hello.
Hola.
Howdy.
You guys.
Can we give a big shout out to the stage crew who made all this
Yes.
I love
They are honestly guiding us since we got here. And me being, Mexican, typical Mexican fashion, I was running late and, they saved my life. So we're here now, right? That's what matters. All right. Exactly. Oh, there we go. All right. What I want to do first is I want you guys to real quick introduce yourselves, tell us who you are, what do you do, and then I want to know, where were you guys the day that the pandemic was announced and everything shut down? Really quick. We'll start on that side.
Hi everyone, my name is Charles Ochoa. Thank you. I was a co-producer on the film, and where was I during the pandemic when this happened? Probably home resting, because I wasn't doing much at that time anyway, so. I don't make films. This was my first film. By day, I'm a graphic designer, and by night, I help this whole team out. We just opened a community center, so please donate.
I'm Aubrey Rice. I'm one of the co-writers on the documentary. And God, I moved from San Diego in March of 2020 up here to pursue my dreams of TV and film, and here I am. So.
Hi, I'm Nicole McClure. I edited the movie. Along with I had some assistants who were also lead editors. But I'm an editor, writer, director, and on the day the world shut down this time, I was working at a post house that closed and never reopened among a lot of other businesses. So it was just utter shutdown. A couple days after my birthday, so it was fun. It's my birthday weekend. We went into lockdown.
Well, what a birthday. A birthday that you never forgot, I'm sure.
Repeat? I'm sorry.
A birthday that you never forgot, I'm sure.
Indeed. Real men.
I'm Dennis Scalzi. I'm one of the producers on the film. I believe I was at Redline.
As you should be.
And then it was announced, I think Binte Queen, she had her show that evening. Anyways, I'm a lot of things, I'm everything. But tonight and here, I am a producer of Proud of the Pandemic, and I'm Dennis Scalzi. And one of my songs, as my artist's name, is Property is in the film. But I'm here, I'm a producer, and I'm a family of DTLAProud, and I'll always be proud in a pandemic. I'll always be DTLAProud person, so yes, please, as Charles said, let's support.
Dennis's song was the one over the credits, that banger that you just enjoyed. I'm sure. Just being modest and
Boo. I'm Oliver Alcuche. I'm the founder and president of DTLAProud. Newly the executive director because we just opened a community center at the block in downtown. So if you haven't been, it consists of an art gallery, a queer marketplace, a community room, and social programming. So please check it out. We're open Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 8. Yeah. Oh, I also own Redline.
movie star.
Dun dun dun.
Yes.
Oliver, I'm Scotty Jan Madden, as you know. I'm the director of this film, co-executive producer with Daddy, so we're mommy and daddy of this baby. Closest that I'll ever come to childbirth, I don't know. This baby, totally our baby. I'm a professional writer-director with, as we discussed, 40 something years in the business. And where was I? I was a bad girl. I was planning a St. Patrick's Day party, and I was on the phone watching the lockdown going, no, we're still good. So,
We all thought we were good.
I completely forgot to say where I was.
where were you?
I was actually, it was a Sunday, and it was brunch, and you were there with your kids' brunch. We were at Redline, it was a Sunday, and they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna close tonight, what do we do? I was like, well, we finished brunch, right?
At least.
You have
It's
to
at midnight, so let's just finish brunch. I remember that week because I see some of you in the audience. We went out. We're like, the world's ending. Let's go out on a Thursday. Sure, why not?
Well, and also all of the interviews were shot in Redline because suddenly it was open. We had a studio space. Nothing going on.
You had to put that space to use for something, right? All right. Well, that brings my next question. In watching the documentary, something that really stood out to me was a part where they mentioned that during the pandemic, it was important for us to help people not to feel isolated. And pardon my French, it's not very ladylike, but what the fuck are you guys thinking shooting a whole documentary in the middle of a pandemic when we're supposed to be isolated?
Crazy bitches. That's all.
Hold on.
Why did you guys say that?
We practice safe production because I directed that from my niece's bedroom in San Diego, at my sister's house.
There you go, shout out.
We
Hey,
had
family in the house,
Our
all
DP
right.
is actually, our DP Pony Gold actually has COVID right now. So that's why she's not here tonight. But she created this droid that we basically, it was almost like the bomb squad where you push it in and then all of our subjects there saw my face, heard my voice, interviewing them for the questions. But everybody else could be completely safe space. And that's something that I'm really proud of, is that this was before any of the white papers were created, which the white papers are anybody that's in the business, or it's in any business actually, but it's not just Hollywood. But the unions created safe practices, but they hadn't done them yet. Because we were shooting well before they finished arguing about what to do, so we had to pretend that we were junior virologists, and consult people like Dr. Katz, who helped us out. Mark's, wave your hand. Dr. Mark Katz, everybody. That's my spirit animal. So yeah, we had to kind of invent it and do it in such a way so that the cast, the subjects would feel comfortable coming and being in our space.
So not only did you guys embark on this project, but you guys pioneered what a whole industry was following in order to keep things moving. That's
As our
that deserves a round of
group.
applause. Yeah, for real.
Okay.
Wow.
Queer people, we lead the way, and we we are leading the way today, as we always have been. So
You can count on the queer community to get it done, right?
we're survivors, we're resilient.
Gays, they just do stuff.
They do. Perfect. Let's talk a little bit about, we focus a lot here basically on DTLAProud. It seems like nowadays every little pocket community in the greater Los Angeles area has their own pride event. But which is great, shout out to all of them. I just moved back to LA not too long ago. And this past Pride, like Downey had a Pride, and WeHo had a Pride, and LA had a Pride, and like Whittier, and I was like, what? Right. I was like, there's gays in Whittier? And I was like, okay, cool. Cool. So, but for you guys, what is it about DTLAProud that stands out? What is it that's just different?
I feel like I'm gonna steal the mic right now, but I hope that DTLAProud forming was a reason why all these crowds or prides decided to pop up. We created DTLAProud because 3 gay bars popped up in downtown all in the same year, and we're like, what's going on? But let's be friends. Let's throw a block party because we're a new community where people can feel safe. I've lived downtown for quite a while, and you see it in the streets, but we didn't have like concrete gay bars, so that's why I created one. And then, Precinct and Mattachine came along, and it was this amazing synergy. And we're like, let's keep this. We're realizing that the queer community lives everywhere. It's not just one place or another. We're everywhere. We should be proud of that. So we created DTLAProud on that foundation, and then to see all these other prides in every other city is just amazing because we could be proud of who we are in the cities that we live in.
That's beautiful. I love that. Now, I do have to ask, the first time that I watched the documentary, it's super impactful. You kind of leave with this resounding message of something needs to happen, we need to do something, what do I do? And then you start going into panic mode, right? But then something that I kept thinking, and I was wondering, what went through your guys' mind after watching the documentary again tonight? Just knowing that a couple of weeks ago, a lot of the communities that were featured in the documentary today have suffered attacks on them. Just a couple of weeks, Monterey Park had that awful shooting at the Star Ballroom dance. You have nationwide efforts to completely ban, queer studies, ethnic studies. Just this week, if you guys don't know, for those of you that don't keep up with the news, the city of Huntington Beach decided that they were going to stick to waving certain flags, and they're no longer going to wave the pride flag in any government building in the city. This is Huntington Beach. We're a couple of miles away from them. So knowing that this is actively just going on right now, and after watching the documentary tonight, does the message change? Is there a new message? Is there something that you guys wish we could have included on here?
I think the message is like a million times more accurate. One of the things that was deeply strange about making this film is that Scotty, Jeanette, and I very much were living in this wind tunnel of everything that was going on. Because we had to pick amongst it, what we needed to tell the story. So if there was a bit of footage of a terrible thing over the course of this profound disaster for humanity in America, any city that you lived in around here, we sat and watched it. And it became really difficult to not say, it's possible that the problem is us. These things are happening everywhere. People are waking up in the morning and choosing violence.
Did you guys ever reach it? Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I think Stacy put it best of all in terms of talking about what the queer community can do and what we have to say and what we have to give to that. When she said that, kindness is game on, right? So this is what we have to spread. This is what we have to share. The problem has to be solved within human beings, right? We have to want to care about each other. We have to get curious instead of judgment. We have to plan in a way that considers the needs of people that are different from us, right? And that all has to source in place of like love and compassion that the queer community has been spectacular at exemplifying for that. So, we mean it when we say yes.
Something that was very significant about, like, you guys, got to listen, and you guys did towards the end, that beautiful song at the end, the message. It's up to us to celebrate love. It's up to us. Why is it up to us? Why isn't it up to anybody
Because straight
else?
people don't do shit.
Because we are the baddest bitches. And we will fight, and we will continue on, and we will be celebrating, and we will be doing it, fighting for our community, representing our community like everyone on the stage has, and like many people in the audience have. We are bad bitches.
And if not us, who? Right? Who? It's gotta be us. It starts with us first.
I mean, I wish it wasn't that way, but we gotta keep doing what we're doing.
But I kind of get the sentiment of what you're doing. Nicole put it very eloquently. But really what it was the two of us were sitting in a rage cage because we had to live with all of this footage and be reminded over and over again of how the dominoes did fall. And they didn't fall, they were pushed deliberately and intentionally, or one was pushed and someone went, ooh, I'm the president, but I don't do shit here, right? So we would get up, I would throw shit across her apartment because that's where the editing day was like, okay, well, let's get back. Where should we make that cut?
Right.
So, but it became very clear that the reason why this, if your question was, did something change? Would our message change? No, it needs to get out there faster. It really does. The thing about living with adversity is that you can't take a day off, and that sucks. But Martha P. never took a day off. Sylvia Rivera never took a day off. Connie Norman never took a day off. So we can't take a day. I don't know where. I think probably during the Obama years, and I didn't come out until 2017, right? I was 48 years old, and so I don't know why I thought, okay, now it's going to be rainbows and sunshine, as Hollister says, right? But for a couple of years, or a year and a half, 18 months in there, it looked like this is the time, this is wonderful, this is beautiful. And then, oh fuck, no. It got ugly and nasty fast, but not just for trans people, for everybody. Anybody who's in the rainbow community. So, but our ancestors are the shoulders upon which we stand. It sucked for them too, which is why they fought. And it's why I was able to come out. So we have to fight because that's what we do. It is up to us.
Right. I was reading the synopsis for the film, and something that stood out to me, says, if you're a member of the queer community and are alive today, your life here directly or through the people you love has been touched by 4 pandemics. Those 4 pandemics, racism, homophobia, the HIV and AIDS pandemic, and the COVID-19 pandemic. As a journalist, I've always been curious to ask, but did we learn, and if you guys lived through, like the HIV and AIDS pandemic, did we learn anything during that time? Did our government learn anything during that time? And
those are 2 very different questions.
Logan.com.
Look, I just wanted to ask.
Well, I think Mark Twain said loyalty to the country always, loyalty to the government when it deserves it.
She said it.
Has it ever?
So then this brings me to my next question. How do you guys feel, and here's another stat real quick, okay? So, for those of us that don't know, according to Axios, 1 in 5 Gen Z adults identify as LGBTQ, and that number is only expected to continue rising. Okay, now the percentage of US adults who identify, yes, pause for applause. Thank you. That percentage of US adults who identify as LGBTQ plus has doubled over the past decade from, get this, 3.5% in 2012 to 7.1 in 2021. Now, with this project, what do you guys feel those younger generations need to do? What do we need to be teaching the younger generations to stand up, to show up, to act up, to let their voices be heard?
Okay, for this one, and Obs, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you haven't had a chance to talk, but this is going to be the last answer, because we do want to get to Party on the Roof.
Yeah.
Party to survive.
Yes.
We need to.
So, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I'll make it a brief 20 minutes at least. No, go enjoy your chocolate sodas upstairs, it's fine. But, I mean, I think it has to do a lot of accepting yourself, accepting your surroundings, and just growing as a person within the community, and living your truth, living proud. And I think we have, I don't know, generally gotten better at that, and representation matters, as we all know. And it's important to share your feelings, share your thought, and be authentic in your true self and form.
And do you feel like that has been, that's a part of the DNA of the younger generation?
I mean, to an extent, I think we've grown up with it more. I'm 28, so I feel, I don't know, I grew up with it more probably than you have, not because you're old as shit, but
Wait for your niece to talk about you. I'm serious. Books, I sent her to school. What does she teach?
Ungrateful. That's cut her. That's cut her.
Kids today.
I do.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Well,
you look great though, so, you know.
She can always get me.
I do have one final comment on this. Your statistics show that people are more comfortable now to actually be their authentic selves. So the work that we're doing is working. The work that our predecessors are going to do is working. The people that have been fighting for us to get to the point that we are today, for our youth and for even our just anyone within the community to feel comfortable to come out and be their authentic self, it's working. So projects like this, projects like the community center, projects like Proud and the festival, all representation matters, and that's how we're going to fight this. We need to be represented in every aspect of life because the queer community is everywhere. Every religion, race, anywhere, any industry, we are here. And those numbers that you said make me proud because yes, this is why I do what I do. So thank you.
And just to kind of start wrapping up, taking care of ourselves is super important. I mean, looking back at some of those news clips, I was just starting my career in news when the pandemic started, and then January 6th happened. And watching some of these clips, like you get a little bit of PTSD. For those of you that some of you guys had to rewatch. How many hours did you guys have to watch a news clip? So, jeez,
So there's two things about that. One, like if there was a horrible piece of footage that happened during that, I watched it, which was wild. Additionally, while we were going through all of the subsequent versions and edits of the film after the first cut, I would routinely have forgotten a number of things that happened because outrage fatigue is real, right? Like exhaustion is real, denial is a hell of a fucking drug, and we're all on it, whether we know.
Right.
So like almost every time I see the fake ballot boxes, I'm like, damn it, I repressed that again. And so there was a certain amount of importance to that, and I think that's when you guys had this brilliant understanding when this started to happen. That in the same way that our elders that documented the ACT UP movement, that documented what they went through, and so because of that, we have so much record, we have so much knowledge of their lives and what they did and how amazing it was, despite having lost so many, that like, there was a realization in DTLAProud that this is a moment like that, and we should record it, right? Because there's going to be so much of this nightmare nonsense, but there's also going to be all of these like small, beautiful moments. There's going to be all refusing to ever close because it meant so much to people. which was like, that was our fucking light in the darkness. And it matters to send that forward into the future in the same way that, like, how to survive a plague matters to me. So, yeah, I think that hopefully there's going to be an impact on the film that we can't even begin with.
Well, yeah, and the trigger warning at the beginning, what I was afraid of is that everybody does laugh.
It's
But
scary.
it came from the very first time that we showed just the trailer to all of the subjects. We had a big Zoom and we said, look, here's where we're going. We did one round of interviews, we need to do some more. We just want to keep you up to speed with how the project's going. And here's the trailer that, Jimmy, where are you? Raise your hand.
Jimmy.
And so we showed them the trailer and they were silent. And it was Queen Shayla who said, you gotta give me some warning you didn't play that man's voice. And she was not kidding. And I was like, Nicole, we should put up a trigger,
Oh, yeah.
maybe we should, I said, maybe we should put up a trigger warning. Nicole goes, oh no, we have to.
Yeah, for sure. At that time, I had a post-it note on my laptop so that with like news shows, it's like where they put the face. So whenever I'd see Donald Trump, it was covered because I just couldn't with it. Fucking, I just couldn't. So, I mean, even in the script, we didn't write his name once. It was always 45 or dipshit. That dip.
I think even in like Zoom meetings, we didn't mention the name.
We shall call him he who shall not be
In
named.
the crew meetings.
He should
yeah.
not be
That's right.
How did you guys take care of yourselves during the entire process? I mean, shit, like the hour and a half that I was there watching it, I'm just over here like, oh my god, like PTSD again. The January, the clips, and it's like, okay. But what did you guys all do? If you guys can real quick just share, what do you guys do to take care of yourselves? Because I think that's important for us to really know during this time because it's still really real. It's still going on.
We helped each other.
That's it.
This film
Our community.
was a way to connect with people. It was a way to turn what we were going through into something that mattered. It was how we survived, especially as an extrovert who's so used to being around people. This team, the team that volunteered here, this project, is what really saved us and got us through this moment.
We had a weekly Zoom meeting, and there were three things that got me through the pandemic. My sister, and beer pong, women in media. Yeah. I worked there, and this weekly together when we were religious about it. We would get together for that production meeting every week. Nick, where are you? Our researcher would show up and take copious notes and go off and find everything. And we would talk about it. Even the post team wasn't, it was going to be
We were all
months,
together. Yeah.
months before we were going to actually need the post team. They were there, we had them there the whole time. So it was that group together that we were going through this together that Oliver says that's how we got through it. That's how, but that's Stacey said that in the movie. That's how we as the queer community take care of ourselves, is that we stay together and we care for each other and we have someone who's there to go, hey, are you okay? What do you need? Do you need toilet
It
paper?
was amazing being cognizant of that while it was happening, because we were like making this point with the film when we were living it. My 35th birthday happened in there, and I just had to like break up with my brother because he had joined the evangelical church and became a homophobe. So I was like, shit was weird with my family. I wasn't talking to anybody, and Andrew was right back there, and a few other people that were here on the Zoom were like, no, fuck that, and they had a Zoom birthday party for me that meant everything to me at the time. Like we were surviving this
Together.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I think it
were-
helped creating that safe space for each other. During a time when we couldn't have that, right? Pride, bars, clubs, anything. A nonprofit organization space, we created that online.
We were
Thus, our film.
emotional outlet, our creative outlet, our professional outlet, our bitchy outlet, our funny outlet. We were everything to each other. We were there for each other every week in
Even our
2020.
subjects.
Yes,
And
that
so
too.
many of them are here, not all of them are here, but for Scotty, Jeanette, and I, there were so many things that like I could not process without the words of our subjects, who I didn't meet until later, which was ridiculous. But
And just because we are coming towards the end of our panel, I know time flies when you're having fun. I'm having so much fun talking to you guys. But just to really wrap up, because I think I said that earlier, we were going to wrap up like 3 questions ago. But just real quick, what does pride mean to each and every one of you post-pandemic? Who wants to start?
I'm gonna say, we should say,
Or
why are we proud?
why are you proud of this project? So yes, why are you proud of this project? So what do you hope this does for the future of our community? In just a couple of words.
I guess my hope for the film is that it serves as like a tool, right? This is our history. We had a chance to write it, right? It wasn't written by some heteronormative person that isn't a part of our community, which tends to happen a lot, all the time. So I hope it's perceived as this tool, as a lightning rod, as a beacon for future generations, you know, to look back upon. This was a time in our lives that we had to endure, you know, and that kind of piggybacks from a different time in our lives that I wasn't a part of, but, you know, not predecessors, but people before me had to experience, and that's how I learned and grew up and came out, and, you know, this is my chosen family, so thank you all.
I think this is what the future looks like right here. It's by the community, for the community, and I hope it continues that way for all queer projects going forward, because again, representation matters, and we need it now more than ever.
People power. People power.
I think something that I've noticed is a thread amongst all of the queer people that I know and love and have brought me into their life, and something I tried to like build in myself as a result is this incredible urge to be a light in the darkness for each other, because we've all been in the darkness and we know about it. We can't like really argue against it. We know about it, and so when you're able to have that kind of experience and passion for yourself, and it extends to everybody else. And I adore that like queer television and queer film has been like reaching out with that compassion to everybody. Like it's a lesson in that, and I hope that's what this film is in the future, despite the ridiculous darkness that we were in.
I know that there's nothing more that I need to be proud of this film, because I'm proud that we all took care of each other, that we took care of every participant in this film, all the talent, and for me, that is more than will ever be enough to know that we took care of each other, we took care of the talent, and in that way, it will forever take care of our community in the future.
I think what I'm proud of most of doing this and going through it is that even if you don't think you could do something, you have an entire community behind you. You have amazing people that will take a wild idea of like creating a film instead of a festival, like, and the amount that our community stands behind us, like, that is what I'm proud of.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a shot at what I'm proud of. What I think the, I mean, obviously what I want for this movie is like, you know, the people that are out there that have the power to buy it, put it on a streaming platform. Well, that's what I want, ultimately. I'm proud that when our moment came, we were queer.
Yeah.
We embodied all of the queer morality, all of the queer virtues, and all the queer fabulousness.
Yes.
We had our moment, and we did it.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, let's put our hands together for the creators who brought us this wonderful piece of art, Proud in Pandemic. Let's give it up, y'all.
And we will see everyone on the rooftop. It's time we are ready, and I think after that movie, we all need a drink. So we'll see you on the rooftop.
Thank you guys, everyone, for coming tonight. We'll see you guys up in the rooftop upstairs.